Well, hello and welcome back to Brave New Teaching. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, I have to get used to doing this on
I know,
camera
on camera.
because we always make faces at each other when we record.
I
And
mean,
now I'm like, oh my gosh, now everyone else is going to see my faces.
let's give the people what they want.
But nobody asked for that though. So I don't know if that's what they want.
I mean, just we don't know.
We don't
We
know.
don't know.
Leave us a comment. Do you want more faces? Is that what YouTubers say?
Yes, comment down below.
Should we make more faces at each other?
Yes. Listen, friends, we moved this little podcast situation to YouTube to open up for other audiences who are consuming content that way. Like, we
Yep.
know that some of you are, tried and true podcast fans. Hey, welcome back. Love to have you. We will continue this way. Also know that I got my social media start on YouTube, and Amanda keeps yelling at me to make more YouTube videos. So I was like,
Yeah.
great, you're coming with me, and here we are. And what I like about this is it's like, now those of you who are watching get to sit with us. This is
Yeah,
just what
that's
we
true.
do. Like, I sit in this little shed out in my backyard and sweat my face off because it is hot, and Amanda sits in her beautiful aesthetic living room with her
Yeah, usually
very
I don't though. Usually
that's
I
true.
have a really messy bun and I'm like the Lord above is like shining behind me with a big obnoxious light and it's really hard to see
Well,
my
look at your
face. But
pretty books. It's so
I do love my pretty
nice.
books. They're great. And then my couch is
Yeah.
here. I have a kind of awkwardly shaped house, which is why this has been difficult in the past.
No, you're doing great, sweetie.
Well, and I was kind of being dumb before about the comments, but like there's still no way to comment on a podcast episode. Like I do wish you
Yeah,
could listen and like there was like a comment feature like with YouTube.
I
Like
know.
why is there not like a literal description box with comments on podcasting? I would love to chit chat, but you can do it here. So
Closest we get on a podcast is somebody telling me that I'm so annoying because I interrupt you too much and leaving us a full blown
Marie, that review is like a
review.
year and a half old.
I know, but it keeps coming up to the top and I find it funny because anybody that knows me knows that I literally can't help myself. Like, I
It's an
can't help myself.
ADHD trait. It is a you can, it is we both have it.
La, 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 la. Hey,
Don't
guess what we
sweat
get
it.
to talk about today? Books.
Books.
Friends, welcome back to part 3 of our Dystopia series. I'm more than 3 minutes into recording and finally telling you what we're actually talking about today. Oh, Amanda's being all mysterious. She's not going to show you the spine. She's just going to show you
Not
that it
yet.
has pages. Her books have pages.
They do.
She's got books. I've got a book and some video, actually, texts, because I believe that text is anything that can be consumed in order to explore curriculum. What? I don't even know what I'm
Sure.
saying.
Okay.
Listen, if you haven't seen the first 2 parts or listened to the first 2 parts of this series, you might want to, take a look at this episode and then go back. The order of these ones aren't super crazy, but we're just excited to give you some new ideas.
Yeah.
Because we don't have 6 days, we will also have a big lengthy list. We're up to more than 25 now. So we're just
Yes,
going to
we
call
are.
it 25 plus texts that you should have that are in your dystopia unit or in your dystopia realm, really, as a teacher. I tried to focus a lot with my list on younger
Yeah.
grades, like middle grades, maybe even
Yes.
upper elementary. Yeah, and Amanda has quite the stack of books, as you
I have a
saw.
huge mix. Yeah, I have a
Yeah,
huge mix.
so I'm excited to get into it and just basically talk about some ideas we have for them and where we would go with it.
Yeah, the goal of this
Yeah.
series, again, if this is your first episode joining us, we're just trying to refresh our conversation about dystopia, and that means refreshing our list of books
Yep.
because absolutely there are tried and trues that are so good because they're so good. But if you're especially doing like lit circles or choice novels and you need just some fresh new voices and to diversify your offerings, that's the focus of this episode.
Mhm.
But if you're looking more to kind of like restructure, that's going to be more like that first and second episode in this series. So
Yep.
follow that journey wherever you need to be.
And always head to the show notes, head to the
Yep.
description box. We have so many different things. If this is like, oh yeah, you know what? I do want to start teaching dystopia, or oh, I do teach dystopia and I want to change up the way that
Yeah.
I do it, or I want to support the what things that I'm already doing. We have a very thorough workshop with
Yes, we do.
so many resources and materials that are ready to go student facing for you. Also ready
Yep.
to just like help you plan out a very solid unit or supplement what you already have. We've got things linked all over the place. We want to help you out. We also have like a lot of Dystopia episodes from years past on the podcast. So, okay. You know what it's time for though right now, Amanda? Do you know what it's time for? Do you?
Yes.
Yeah. Cue the music.
You're listening to Brave New Teaching, and we are so much more than a podcast.
We give teachers the inspiration, support, and tools to challenge the status quo.
I'm Amanda, and I'm a former English teacher from Illinois.
And I'm Marie, and I'm a high school teacher from Southern California.
Join us after the show and happy hour to extend your BNT experience with instant access to our resources, workshops, and courses.
Visit shop.bravenewteaching.com/happy hour to join us today. We're so glad you're here. Enjoy the show.
Okay, Amanda, I feel like with the stack that you were showing us, you should probably start with at least like a couple of your titles because I'm ready to jump in, but I need to see what you've got. Show me yours.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'll show you mine. I think what I wanted to do was talk about them. I have them in two stacks actually. One depending on the EQ.
Okay.
But I don't want anyone watching or listening to feel like it's like a finite. Like a lot of them could go for both and could go kind of to other EQs that are just more general dystopia. So I'll kind of tell you what I was thinking about for our first EQ, where we were kind of really investigating this idea of the post-apocalyptic, like more of a end of the world dystopia versus we're in the midst of a dystopia.
Yeah, Viva la Revolution, yeah.
Yes. So one middle grades book that I could share, and I know if you guys listen to our good friend Betsy Spark Creativity, the Spark Creativity podcast, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
She interviewed this author. We have not talked to this author, but Alone by Megan Freeman is gorgeous. Premise: 12-year-old girl, and it's a lot more. The world's not necessarily over, but it is kind of about this like life as we know it has ended. We're in this kind of survival mindset / should we be rebuilding, and how does she function on her own. There is a sequel that I haven't read that I think gives more insight into the collapse and then like the things are being restructured. So what's really cool about Alone is the protagonist is 12. So if you are looking for something younger, that's great. Her little sidekick is a dog, the neighbor's dog. And so she and the dog are surviving together. So about Alone, it's great. 12-year-old protagonist. So if you're looking for someone or a protagonist that's younger, that was always a complaint we were hearing from people was, I need more middle grades. This one's great, but it's definitely not like pure dystopia. It's more survival. It's also a novel in verse.
Ooh, I like that.
So it can also work great in a novel and verse unit separately. But anyway, that's a great one to think about for End of the World. Another End of the World one is amazing. This one is How High We Go in the Dark. It's a collection of short stories. Again, something different. You could use the whole thing. You could use parts. Some of the stories are very far down the sci-fi route, but some of them are very apocalyptic and survivally. They're really good. This is a great read, period. The author is a Japanese American writer, and so you're just gonna get a lot of perspective. It's set in 2030, which is right near future, very near future.
Not too far away.
There is a pandemic, right? There's kind of this, there's research being done in the Arctic Circle. And then all of the kind of short stories are from people experiencing a similar, right, end of the world scenario, but from all around the world. So you're getting a lot of things out of just one book for that. Really loved it. Next option to think about would be The Last Bookstore on Earth. I liked this book. I thought it was a little slow. It's not action packed.
I remember it being hard to get into, but then once you're in, you're in.
perfect to set up a lot of the what if scenarios. Like,
Yeah.
so the end of the world in this scenario is a yearly like acid rainstorm is coming. So you've got climate change issues. There's a lot of climate change stuff in here as well.
Yeah.
And Last Bookstore on Earth is, I would say, YA, right? That would be that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say middle grades. I would say it's more YA. And the protagonist is really wrestling with the ideas of survival and rebuilding. I mean, they're
Yeah.
really, that's
No,
the
it is.
heart of
It's
it.
very, yes, very
It's
much
not
that's
really
it.
dystopian. Yeah, no, the world is ending because of the climate. I
It's
don't, there's not,
after.
at least there's not like government structures to deal with
Yeah, no,
here
that's
other
true.
than like,
That's true. Yeah.
not in that one.
Well, other than the fact that
Does
there
that
isn't
spark
one.
any ideas for you?
I mean, yes. Well, so a lot of the things that I have been looking at, I had a few books that I was looking at, and then I was kind of like, eh, and this isn't really dystopia. This isn't really like I just had some that it's like this is more fantasy. This is more sci-fi. Like this isn't really dystopia. And so the texts that I have looked at are more like they would work really, really well as supplementals and
Yeah.
as like intro gateway texts, if you
Okay.
will. So we actually in our last episode talked about the Barbie movie, and I had that down, and then I had
You're stealing it. That was mine.
well, I forgot that I had that down, but I will go back. You can
Sure.
talk about it more if you want
Sure.
to. But movies
Sure.
like that, where the world is literally shiny and perfect until it's not, fantastic, wonderful, love
So
it.
good.
Edward Scissorhands is another example. That is definitely for older kids.
Yeah.
But like those type, Pleasantville, which I think I've
Yes.
talked about before in
We
in a
have.
previous episode. Yes, those sorts of films are phenomenal. Jurassic Park is one that I had thought about, and then we started talking about it earlier in this series. And because I was like, that's more sci-fi, but it's also got those elements of like using technology,
Idealism.
well,
Yeah.
and of God complexes, right? Of like,
Yep.
like what is the ethical of the? It's got the Frankenstein question, right? What are the ethics of just because this technology exists? And I again cannot wait to talk about AI in Happy Hour. So like, Happy Hour
Yes.
friends, get ready because this is what we're going to talk about. Because what is Jurassic Park if not a form of AI? That's like that's gonna be my thesis. But I have one book on here, and it's actually sitting behind me, so I'm gonna grab it. And it is definitely for sorry.
Oh,
I'm
she
dropping all
fell.
sorts of things. It is The Last Kids on Earth. Have you or your kids looked at this series at all?
Nope.
Did they watch it on Netflix?
No.
So my kids started watching it on Netflix first, and then we're like, wait a minute, this is books. It's graphic novels.
Oh,
No,
nice.
this isn't the graphic novel. This is the regular novel, but there is a graphic novel version. I must have grabbed the wrong one off of his shelf. So this one is definitely a older upper elementary, middle grade, easy read. Like it's one of those like really approachable. You could even excerpt it a little bit
Yep.
because it is very simple, but it's literally like it's the zombie apocalypse. It's over. Everything's over.
Love
Now
it.
what do they do? Do they survive? Do they rebuild? What is their choice going to be?
I love it.
And it's about friendship. It's about all of the and honesty and a lot of different things. I quite enjoy this one. And then I've got a couple of TV shows.
Okay.
And then I want to hear the rest of yours.
And then I have four more actually.
Okay.
So.
Let's hear two of yours, and then we'll go to mine, and then we'll go to yours. We'll go back and forth, back and forth.
Okay, one that I mentioned in an earlier episode that I don't have a copy of because I just lent it to somebody is Station 11.
Oh yeah.
Station 11's amazing. There's also a really good series on HBO Prime.
I have no idea.
Series that's just as good as the book.
Okay.
Optional, like would be really, really good.
Okay.
Station 11's amazing. For both, I would say it's a hybrid. It's a both situation.
Okay.
Sanctuary also has a sequel. Haven't read the sequel yet. Sanctuary gives internment vibes,
Okay.
which if you haven't already listened to our work on Camp BNT, the thing about Sanctuary and internment is that they imagine a very near future that is a government is in power,
Mm-hmm.
and the the biggest tool at the helm is the division of people based on race and based on economic status. And by dividing the people and segregating the people, they are continuing to kind of amass power in that way. The protagonists are women of color in both of these stories, and they are the stories of the hope, bravery, and exceptional brilliance of these people. And I just really love the voices about what happens when xenophobia takes over. They're really cool. Sanctuary, you get a lot of the dystopian kind of society and government control through bits and pieces, because she kind of hears it. She's on a journey, right? So she's trying to get to the sanctuary state, which is California. California actually secedes from the Union in this novel, which is like hilarious because I really do think that that's possible.
Yeah.
And so like it's kind of cool that like you're with her in real time, experiencing the collapse, not the collapse, like the way that power is, right, like coming to be. She's on a train, she's walking, she's hiking. It's just this long journey. So you also get a journey novel here as well, like a hero's journey. And then Internment, I think same, right? Like she's only hearing and she's experiencing this, like the camp that she's been put in, but getting bits and pieces about the
very much like
way
a kid,
the government works.
like a kid experiences the world, right? Like it's very age like specific to that experience.
Which I feel like is a very, very different from some like with like Fahrenheit and Hunger Games we talked about a lot.
Right.
You've got the omniscient narrator that knows everything and tells you a lot more about the system. Here you're really getting it from their eyes, and it's beautiful. And then I had to reread this one. Approach with caution. I mean, all of these approach with caution. They're going to give you gut rot. They're going to feel so close to home. But Parable of the Sower is stunning. Octavia Butler. I've talked about Kindred. I don't know that I've talked about Parable. But
I think just in passing. Yeah.
When global climate change and economic crises lead to social chaos in the early 2020s, California becomes full of danger, from pervasive water shortage to massive vagabonds who will do anything to live and see another day. The protagonist is a 15-year-old, and she lives inside a gated community. And so like you're there. Published in, right, so you're going to get 1993.
Yeah.
93. Is that right?
I mean, it sounds right. Yeah. It was within my lifetime, but I was very young. Yeah.
Right. So that being like the fun part of, how did they know in 1993 what the 2020s were going to be going to be like? Wow. And this is challenge. This is an upper high school read. I don't know.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, and it could be or a good option for a choice if you have a pretty avid reader and you're not doing an honors class or an AP class. I think an avid reader would like this, no matter how good they are at reading.
It's
and I would definitely say someone who's read Dystopia before. Sorry, was that?
Yeah, they need to be a little bit experienced. Yes, I think an avid reader is a great way to put it. Yeah.
Yep. But that's my big list, and then I have a couple other like suggestions, but I think those are probably going to end up on our list in the show notes.
Yeah. Well, I've got 2 TV shows. One is okay. I've talked before about Lost on here because when I've taught Lord of the Flies, I paired Lost with it. It's great. Another J.J. Abrams show called Fringe. Is that JJ? Wait, did I just lie? Hold on. Let's look this up and make sure I'm not lying.
Google.
I'm on it, girl. So, well, anyways, Fringe came out in 2008. It is now available on, hold on. Okay. Are you JJ Abrams? Am I just full of it?
JJ did a lot all at once.
I know,
so it's possible.
Right? I think I just assumed it was him, but let's see. Awards overview. It doesn't say. We'll look it up. Either I've assumed it or I'm correct. But anyway,
you keep talking and I'll look.
Okay, you do that. So Fringe is about, I mean, it's pretty sci-fi, but it's also got some dystopian elements. So I think it would be a great exercise in, is it sci-fi, is it dystopia, because I think that that's something that kids really can get confused. That's something that adults get confused. I think it's a great place to go with, like, it's all about like government control. It's this FBI agent Olivia Dunham is on the scene, and she is really like investigating all of these like weird happenings, right? And it's all of this like fringe science. And so I can't remember his name. Walter Bishop is the name of the scientist, and then it's his son, who is played by Joshua Jackson, the one and only Pacey from Dawson's Creek. Okay. So, like, let's just talk about how good this was, anyways. I was already primed to love this show, and then it was really good. But even just the first episode is great because it's got all of this like mystery and like the withholding of
Yes.
information and scientific discovery, and like, should we use, just because we can, should we use things, yada yada yada. And it's got like this seedy like organization that's using science for
Love.
evil, yada yada yada. That one is
Love.
really really good as like a gateway, another good gateway, or even like I could see it
Oh,
midway through a unit. It's an episode of The Simpsons. It is one of their Treehouse of Horror episodes, which is like their yearly Halloween episodes. Actually, my son helped me think of this one because he was like, "Have you seen the Hunger Games Simpsons?" And I was like, "Probably." Anyways, it is episode 4 from season 28. It is Treehouse 27 is what it's called, and it's they have them in like 3 parts, or like 3 little
I love it.
interludes or whatever. And this one's called Dry Hard, and it's all about a drought. And
Oh,
it's about the control of water, and there's a Hunger Games that happens where all of the kids have to fight and yada yada yada. And so it does the satire in the way that only the Simpsons can. Well, there's another one, I can't remember what episode it is, but where Homer doesn't vote, but it came out in 2020, and I do think that it's probably a little too on the nose for American schools to do right now.
okay.
But
Fair.
this one is 2016, and it's a Hunger Games parody.
Love it.
But it's also very poignant. And so I think it would be a great access point for a lot of kids who might just be looking for, I don't know, levity with also some like really cutting commentary at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I got. I mean, I
Let's
have
let's
more, but that's
circle.
what I got for the moment.
Well, of course
Yeah.
you do. Let's so circling back. J.J. Abrams, correct.
Oh, yay! Look at me.
Okay. That's note number 1.
Okay.
Note number 2 is we have mentioned the Hunger Games in every single episode in this series, and I want to say this might be a great time to revive it. When we talk about on the podcast before, I think it's really important to remember that if you have some really challenging skills to teach, like let's say your kids are struggling to do literary analysis, like to really get to the other side of like using evidence to make a claim and like actually be convincing and unique and thorough about it. One of the best ways to do that is to do it with a text that's very accessible.
Absolutely.
Like give them the kind of text that they can move with.
Yeah.
Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping, like pick your fave. This might be a good time to think about that. And I don't know, maybe even there's a film novel comparison unit that you want to do. And I don't know, I don't think we if it's the novel we keep coming back to.
Well, no, it is.
And Fahrenheit for me too.
Yeah.
Like if those two are classics, I mean, there's no reason that you wouldn't want to keep those on your list.
No, I totally agree. I also think that it's a great idea to look at things that we know are very popular, like Neil Schusterman has some
100%.
different series.
Dry,
specifically, yeah,
Scythe,
or
yep.
like Scythe is now a graphic novel. So like, maybe you don't have the time. That's the other thing too, is like we really do. I'd love to live in an ideal world, right, where we can
a utopia,
all
if you will.
just, where we can all read the books and take the time and read multiple books and have the conversations. And that's just not reality. Like, it's just not reality. Yeah. Also, I would get burnt out on it. So I can only imagine how a 15, 16-year-old brain would get. Pull in different versions of these stories so that they can have more access points, but then go with the depth with something that it needs you as the teacher to be there with, right? So like there's no harm in bringing in a lot of supplemental texts and excerpts and little pieces of things. That is not necessarily breadth, that is access points, and then take that depth with something that needs you.
With your EQ.
Yes. With your EQ,
right?
or with something that you're all doing together,
Correct.
that students will benefit from guidance of an instructor or something. Yeah. So just
The EQ drives the depth because right,
exactly.
it's what begs the question, so what?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
This is a dystopia. Great. You know all the elements. Great. You know that there's juxtaposition. Great. So what?
Why does this matter?
How does it work?
Yes.
Why does this matter? What does this have to do with blah blah blah?
Yeah.
Essential question here. And then brilliant, your kids are brilliant, and you move on, rinse and repeat for the next unit.
Exactly.
And we've just planned your whole year for you minus the other units. But you get the idea. You get the idea.
Yes. Okay, friends, I want to hear from you all what some of your favorite, either new to you or new to the world, texts are, because apparently I'm just watching a lot of TV. That's just where I'm at right now.
Apparently.
Which
Have
is
you
fine with
watched
me.
Station 11?
No.
You need to watch that next.
No, apparently I
Or no,
do.
maybe read it first. Read it first.
Read it
It's
first?
so good.
Okay.
I was late to the game with Station 11, and I
You're
kind
earlier
of hate
than me.
myself for waiting so long.
Listen, I'm the latest.
I think that's
But
my
yeah,
favorite.
let us know, what are you watching, what are you reading, what are you
Yes.
listening to even, and let's share the wealth, because I feel like, yeah, I just want to do a ton of like Instagram reels now on different dystopia books. Just be like, and this one, and this one, and also this one, and I want to talk about the Gracier until I'm blue in the face. So
And don't forget to listen to, we'll link it below too,
Yeah.
but don't forget to listen to our episode with Samira Ahmed about internment. We
Oh
do
my
talk
gosh,
a lot
yes.
in that episode about genre and the dangers of classifying internment specifically as a dystopia.
Right.
So that's a double episode actually. It's 2 parts.
But she's
That one will give you
so
ideas.
brilliant and thoughtful.
She's so
and
smart.
amazing, and a former teacher. So there you go.
Awesome.
Okay, friends. We hope you're having a wonderful week at school, in the world. Apparently, that's what I say now. Have a wonderful week at school. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know what you are reading, watching, listening to. If you have not already taken a look at the first 2 episodes in this miniseries, make sure you do that. And I really hope you join us in Happy Hour, because this is what we're going to be talking about for a minute anyways. Make sure you subscribe and get this podcast through video on a weekly basis, and make sure that you could go back and catch up. We are spending some time putting all of our content into different playlists so that it's easier to get what you need, because we know that we can talk a lot. We know that there are many of you out there who are hungry for what we're talking about. How do we know? Yes. Because we're you. That's why we started this. And now we need to make it where a teacher with a teacher's life and schedule can actually get the things that they need. So head to the show notes, head to bravenewteaching.com, and take a look at what we've gotten started on. There is more to come, and we cannot wait to show it all to you. But for now, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thanks again for listening to Brave New Teaching.
We'd love to keep the conversation going over on Instagram.
And while you're there, check out the links in our bio for the most up-to-date events going on in Happy Hour and the Brave New Teaching community.
Thanks for being here, and have a great week at school.